Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at Banknote Trading, where we take a look at the US dollar pairs in the Forex market. Today, we'll start by taking a look at Euro USD on the 4-hour chart. And of course, we'll start by taking a look at the overall range that we're in. Of course, yesterday we said what we've been saying since this week it had become bullish. We're traced back down to discount, and it has been making internal strides toward targeting the highs of the overall range. Broke structure to the upside, continues to just retrace like yesterday, and post retrace, still making higher highs, higher lows internally, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows internally. Swing structure bullish, internal structure bullish, fractal structure bullish. Only looking for any type of buying opportunities in order to target the highs of the overall range. These dollar pairs are continuing to push to higher prices with bullish momentum, clear retracements, and clear pushes to higher prices. GBP USD, I did say this was the most bearish, but still following in line with all the other US dollar pairs. Let's go map out the current range on this 4-hour chart. And because it was bearish, because it retraced all the way back down to the lows of the overall range, this area of demand. Price did stall here, started to consolidate, but then it started to break out just like with Euro USD, started to break structure to the upside, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, with this area of demand now in control, pushing prices higher. Internal swing structure bullish, internal structure bullish, product structure bullish. Still waiting to see if this can take out the liquidity sitting over these highs and target the highs of the overall range if these prices continue to push up as the dollar gets weaker. Let's go ahead and take a look at DXY, and obviously overall swing structure bearish, started to see some type of momentum gain strength, and then recently this week internal structure started to be bearish again. Sellers to step back in, broke structure to the downside, higher, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. As news continues about tariffs and any type of trade deals, any type of fundamental news is pushing the dollar down, could possibly go ahead and take out these lows, and then the dollar will be considered one of the more weaker pairs in terms of all these Forex currencies. Let's go ahead and take a look at AUD USD. Map out the current range. This was the range we have been dealing with. I said if the prices didn't close strong yesterday and it came back in, and we're looking at this range still, but as you can see, this was the Wyckoff accumulation with this spring going to another accumulation pattern with this spring, and since it has gone ahead and broken past the highs of this overall range of the structure, you can see liquidity sitting over these highs, broke structure to the upside. I'm going to count this and move that as the spring that broke out of that structure, with this being the new range. Of course, it can retrace back down, where we're looking at this area as any type of area of discount for this new leg of price movement, and this would be the area of demand to look out for. If it does retrace back down to discount, I'll be looking for any type of bullish momentum shift in order to target the highs of the overall range. NZD USD. Let's go and map out the current range. And as you can see, what we've been saying. Also, swing structure obviously bullish. This was the low, so this was the spring of this accumulation pattern. Made this high, prices started to retrace back down, so let's step back in. Made this higher low compared to this low, and start to consolidate in discount. Waiting to see the reaction from this area of demand. And we now still at prices of pushing higher, breaking structure to the upside, clearly taking out the liquidity sitting over these highs. There's liquidity sitting over these highs in order to target the highs of the overall range. Of course, fractal structure bullish, swing structure bullish, internal structure bullish, with this area of demand being in control. So just waiting to see any type of retracement. This is an impulsive move. This is the bullish momentum out of discount. We'll be only looking for any type of buying opportunity in order to target the highs of the overall range. GBP AUD. And let's go map out the current range. I'm gonna keep this as this overall range. So I was saying yesterday, of course, we've been saying this was always still bearish swing structure, just waiting after this consolidated, broke past this trend line, came back up into this premium, hit this trend line, seller step back in. We're waiting to see what would happen at these lows, which I think I said yesterday or the day before. Once these lows get taken out, possibly get a good time to sell, because clearly selling pressure is still on. Buyers weren't able to come back up to the premium, weren't able to come back up to this trend line, seller step back in once they broke it down. That means swing structure bearish, internal structure bearish, because lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, looking to target the lows of the overall range. Possibly if this does continue, and we look at any type of retracement, if it comes back up and take any type of selling opportunity to continue these prices back down, that would be the new range. Even though these lows, what I've been saying, these lows did go lower than these lows. It looked like it swept the liquidity under the lows, and then buyers step back in. But of course, if this price continues to shoot down and continues to lower prices, then we'll remake the range as that would be the new leg if it does continue to push further down. We work any type of retracement in order to take any type of selling opportunity down to lower prices. GBP NZD, let's go back up the current range. And this too is finally starting to catch up to what GBP AUD was doing. Prices continue to consolidate sideways. As you can see, breaking structure to the downside, breaking structure to the upside, breaking structure to the downside. But every time it came up the premium, sellers step back in. This time, when buyers step back in, as this continued to consolidate, they weren't able to go back up to premium. Sellers step back in, just like with GBP AUD, started to push prices back down, saying it's a little it's going slower. But GBP AUD already did test the trend line, already did make new lows and target the lows of the overall range. So we're waiting for GBP NZD to do the same thing, follow suit. Obviously, structure has internally broke down to the downside. Swing structure bearish, internal structure bearish, because it's the low, new lower low, higher low, and it's still breaking structures to the downside with this area. Price is still in this area, but it's the area of supply pushing prices down. So waiting to see what happens. Just be careful at this trend line. But overall, just looking for any type of selling opportunity. If it does gain momentum and push past the trend line, push past the lows, maybe retest the trend line and continue pushing down, it'll be the same situation with GBP AUD. Looking for any type of retracement and any type of selling opportunity to continue prices down and rearrange the structure and the overall range if that leg does pick up momentum and push down past all these lows. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining us.